orphaned pregnant alien dragon castaway by Galactic Empire, found a home in a farmer's barn. The winds howled across the outer fields of Duskvale, where no man ventured after sundown. But Jareth Cole wasn't most men. He was a widowed farmer with nothing left but his land, his dog, and the memory of a son lost to the Galactic conscription. Every night, he checked his barn like it was sacred, because the barn had been the last place his boy played before being taken. Tonight, though, something was wrong. The cows were restless. The sheep were silent, and his dog, Wex, refused to enter the barn. Jareth gripped his old plasma rifle and slowly pushed the door open. What he saw would have driven any sane man to bolt. Curled in the hay, between stacks of feed and old tools, was a creature, massive, wounded, and glistening under moonlight. Its scales shimmered like spilled oil, each breath labored and wheezing. Large eyes glowed faintly amber, watching him with more exhaustion than malice. A dragon, but not just any dragon. Even in his far-off corner of the galaxy, Jareth had heard the Empire's broadcasts. Cleansing of Zalari clutch complete. The alien dragons of Zalari Prime were declared hostile, wiped out in a so-called containment mission. This one had survived. And then he saw her belly, distended, trembling, pregnant. Merciful stars, he whispered, lowering the gun. The dragon flinched. No, Jareth said quickly, placing the weapon aside. I won't hurt you. She didn't understand his words, but she felt them. Her wings shifted, revealing a grotesque burn running down her side. Still raw. Plasma wounds. Empire grade. She was dying, but she wasn't giving up. Jareth worked through the night. He used salves meant for cattle, filtered water through his purifier, and dragged over 3 full bales of hay to cushion her aching body. She never once snapped at him, even when he stitched part of her wing with trembling hands. The sun rose on a strange new world. A human man and a hunted alien dragon breathing the same barn air. By midday, the dragon tried to rise. She failed, collapsing with a groan that echoed through the rafters. Easy, Jareth murmured, holding up his hands. You're safe here. Stay. He expected her to fly off the moment she could walk. Instead, she stayed. Day after day, a week passed. She would tilt her head when he brought food, watch him speak, even started nudging his hands to the warmer hay bales. Once, she licked his callous fingers with a tongue like soft leather. Then one night, while he dozed against the stall door, she cried out. Her body shuddered, wings spasmed. The labor had begun. Jareth scrambled to her side, tossing his blanket aside, forgetting all fear. I got you. I got you. She roared, not in pain, but to warn him to stay back. But when her legs buckled and she slumped hard to the hay, she whimpered. A plea. So he stepped forward. The birth was long and bloody. 2 stillborns. 1 breathing. Small. Silver-scaled. Barely alive. The mother nudged it weakly but couldn't rise. So Jareth lifted the baby dragon himself. Its scales pricked his arms. Its body trembled like a leaf in wind, but it was alive. Come on, little one, he murmured. Your mama did her part. Let's not waste it. He laid the baby near the mother's chest. She sniffed it and finally closed her eyes, tears running from slitted lids. Not from sadness, but from relief. The mother dragon never fully recovered. The wound was too deep. She lived another 3 days, just long enough to see her child feed. Jareth buried her behind the barn, using his son's old shovel. No one came to claim her body. But 2 days later, ships arrived. Imperial. A scout cruiser hovered over Duskvale's outskirts. Jareth saw the glint of armor in the sky. His stomach twisted. He tucked the baby dragon under his coat, wrapped tight in wool. It nuzzled his chest, making barely a chirp. When the soldiers knocked, he greeted them with a limp and a wheezing cough. "Nothing in there but livestock and old hay," he grunted, motioning toward the barn. "Storm scared my sheep half to death last week. Want to look?" They did. Flashlights swept the barn. One soldier squinted at a spot of dry blood. "Cow gave birth," Jareth lied. "Didn't make it. Stillborn." The soldier nodded. "Routine sweep. You hear or see anything strange, roars, glowing creatures, unnatural stuff, you report it." "Of course," Jareth said. "Wouldn't want no aliens hiding in my barn, now would I?" They left. Weeks passed, then months. The baby dragon grew fast, twice the size of a dog by spring. She was no ordinary creature. Jareth named her Ember, because her eyes looked like the last coals of fire. She could understand him now, not in words, but tone, expression, memory. She learned to curl up in the hay when outsiders came, to stay silent when engines passed overhead. She guarded the fields from scavengers. She warmed the barn in winter with soft, controlled bursts of heat from her nostrils. And when Jareth sat on the porch with a pipe and memories of a lost wife and son, she rested her head on his lap, humming low like a lullaby. One summer day, a local boy spotted her wing through a crack in the barn. He told his father. The next morning, Jareth woke to 3 hover trucks outside and a cold voice yelling, "We know what you're hiding, old man." Ember roared from the barn. Jareth stepped between her and the soldiers. "She's not a threat," he said. "She's a child. She's illegal, a war species. Harboring her's a death sentence." Jareth looked at the man's rank pins, glinting gold in the sun. "You ever see a dragon give birth? Cry, starve." The commander hesitated. "She's not a weapon," Jareth said. "She's someone's daughter." A moment passed, the kind that stretches time. Then Ember stepped forward, slowly, gently. She bowed her head, showing the faded tag on her neck. A number once burned into her mother's flesh. Not a threat, a refugee. The commander looked away. "We were never here," he said. "But next time we won't be so kind." Jareth built a hatch beneath the barn, hidden and warm, just in case. Years passed. The Empire eventually forgot about the dragons. Other wars came, other enemies. But in Duskvale, a silver-scaled dragon with golden eyes soared over fields under the dusk sun, and an old man with graying hair smiled every time she landed beside him. She wasn't his daughter, but she was his family, and in the place that had once buried her mother, she laid her first egg. Safe. Home. At last.